Alright guys, this is Vaul, and I am finally back with another game of Dawn of War 2 in the beta. Now, first of all, special thanks go out to Sergeant Botbot, who was the opponent that I played against this game. This game was played last night, Eldar vs Tyranids on Green Tooth Jungle. And one thing I was going to do with this video was talk a lot about the requisition system, because a lot of people have been challenging me in post comments and on the forums, because I have said that requisition doesn't really matter. You don't really need to collect requisition to win a game of Dawn of War 2. Now, incidentally, today I got out of bed and realized that Relic have actually released a patch, which I'm quite excited about, and that will actually give me some motivation to get back into this game. But crucially, they have actually patched the requisition system. They've made it so that requisition points give you more requisition over a longer period of time. Initially, they give you less, but as long as you hold them for a period of time, they give you more. So that kind of already proves that I was right about the requisition system, that it needed fixing, wasn't really worth it. But this game was actually played pre-patch. This is a game that was played last night, and I want you guys to pay careful attention to the number of requisition points that I capture and hold during this game. I've said previously that you don't need to capture any. I did capture a couple in this game, but point being that in this game I really did not capture as many requisition points as my opponent, Sergeant Botbot, here. And by the way, Sergeant Botbot is a guy that's posted on my page. He was a very sporting player for this game, and thanks for the good time. Now, sorry I haven't been commentating what's been going on so far. It's just been a bit of a skirmish here between the Ravener and the Warp Spider Hero, as you've seen, with some Ripper Swarms and some Hormagaunts. Over at the left-hand side of the map, I've actually captured a victory point right off the bat, and I'm protecting it with a Shuriken Cannon platform, as I always do, and I'm actually ahead with 2 victory points. I have captured 0 requisition points so far, and my opponent has 1. One other thing I want to point out is that there seems to be a bug in replays for the beta at the moment, where the team color of the person that didn't save the replay doesn't get shown. As you can see here, the Tyranids are all sort of blacked out, and normally they'd have a color. Anyway, just chucking my Guardians into the building here while I throw a plasma grenade, which misses. So his Hormagaunts are just really getting stuck into my Guardians here, so having to retreat them. In the meantime, the guys in the building shooting away at the Hormagaunts, so they're having to retreat as well. Now, my opponent is up 3 requisition points. I've got 0. I'm just completely ignoring them, as I always do every single game, and bear in mind that I'm actually winning 90% of my auto-match games. Not that that's a huge indicator. I'm playing mostly weak, low-level players on auto-match due to the true skill system not really working very well. But never mind. Here are my troops back at base, and my opponent has done the same thing, so looks like we've both sort of headed back home with tails between our legs to heal up our units again. And it'll be a little bit of time before we can get stuck back into the action. But yeah, so hope you guys are happy that I'm doing more Dawn of War 2 videos. I know I didn't do any for a while. The game really was getting boring. I've been playing a little bit more lately, just in between breaks, between painting my Tomb King's army, as you've seen in my previous video there. But I probably will be playing a little bit more now that they've balanced things, because they've really nerfed the Warp Spider Hero as well as Warp Spider squads. They've buffed Rangers, stuff like that. So I'm actually quite excited about that. It'll give me a chance to try some new stuff out. I might even start playing with a Farseer instead for a while, because they made Seer counters easy to get. Anyway, grenades going off here, as you can see, and my Eldar Guardians really just getting swarmed by Tyranid warriors and all sorts of other Tyranids here. But unfortunately for my opponent here, he's actually gone within range of my cannons at the base, so that's going to hurt him. And in the meantime, he's actually taking back a victory point here. Now, I want you guys to notice also at this stage that my opponent has every single requisition point on the map, and I have none of them. And he's actually ahead with 2 victory points as well. But he's actually being very aggressive here, and it's not often that I play a very aggressive player. Boom! Plasma grenade going off over all of those, Ripper Swarms, and I think his little attack here is not paying off, because I've actually relocated my platform as well, so as not to protect the victory point, but to bring it in and get some extra shots off on his troops here. So this has really leveled my guys up a fair bit. And crucially, I feel like this is a mistake from my opponent. He has actually got the rest of the map, but I've won that battle, and I will have to spend less on reinforcing my guys and building new guys. Now, that's the key, really. That is what is crucial about Dawn of War 2, at least in this particular version of the game. It may be better now that it's been patched, but the thing is, you'd expect a player like this in any other RTS to be able to come back very easily, because he had all of the requisition points. Not the case in this incarnation of Dawn of War 2, and we'll see that shortly. Anyway, his squad of Hormagaunts having to retreat, being faced off there by a squad of Guardians and a platform. and my Warp Spider hero retaking the victory point. And still, really, this is the first time I've even gone for the requisition points, just because my guys aren't really faced with any opponents. That's the only reason I was going to decapture those requisition points there, is because I didn't have any opposition out in the midfield. He'd run away, but here comes a massive swarm of Tyranids, as I'm sure you can appreciate, charging over my guys, so definitely refleeing. And yeah, I mean, some of you may be saying, well, he probably couldn't have afforded that many Tyranids if he didn't have all those requisition points. Maybe that's true, but still, let's see how much difference they make later in the game. Initially, my force is getting surrounded here while the leaping Tyranids charge in, but not to worry, I will flee back, and I'm at tier 2. And yeah, Warp Spiders get charging in. Now, just further to the commentary about requisition points, you start off with 264 requisition, I believe it is, and that's all the requisition you get per minute from your base, but it's plus 22 from requisition points out in the field. So really, just having an HQ, an operational HQ, is what gives you everything you need to build tier 2 stuff and whatever you need to win the game. Anyway, in the meantime, aside from that, the Ravener is actually retaking the point, which is not guarded by my Shuriken platform anymore, and the massive swarm of Tyranids up the northern side of the map retaking this point here. In the meantime, the Warp Spider hero further to the south-east retaking another VP. Guardians moving here, and the Guardians are really getting ready to just retake the VP as soon as the Ravener's done with it. Now the score is 481 to me and 300 and let me just enlarge my window here, 303 I think it is to the Tyranids, but mine's counting down. Another plasma grenade going up. It's really been hit and miss literally with these plasma grenades in this game. I'm gonna have to garrison the building or something with these Guardians. Indeed, I'm gonna do that, and that'll give me plenty of time to actually beat these Tyranids here. It's going to take them a while to cut through the building, so I'm actually really glad that the building's there. I don't often garrison buildings in a decent game, but thanks to having a decent opponent, I'm actually having fun this game, because he's really been aggressive. You don't see that too much. Tyranids are the best race to be aggressive with, really. It's got so many units, they're so good in close combat. But the Warp Spiders, fortunately, able to shred most of them. The hero is taking a little bit of damage up front while that goes on. And as you can see here, just warping in a new squad of Warp Spiders. So thanks to me purely just picking that particular hero, the Warp Spider commander, I get a free squad of Warp Spiders practically, 125 requisition. Now they've patched that to make it 350 requisition, which seems a little fair to me. Maybe a bit too much of a nerf, but that's fine. I'll just play a different hero if the Warp Spider's not that powerful. I mean, it's always going to be a matter of just picking the best hero. No matter how much patching they do, you're always going to know which hero is going to be the most effective, and you'll be picking that one. Anyway, the Ravenous trying to chase down the Warp Spiders here. They still have jumps in hand, so there's no way the Tyranids can really catch up to me here. Now, let's take a quick check of the requisition count. I have 0 requisition points, my opponent still has 3, so we're talking 3-0 in terms of requisition, but I've got 2 VPs, so he's down to about 272 VPs, I've got 464, so let me just do a little bit of commentary on how that works. If your opponent has barely got any VPs left and you're in control of the actual victory objectives, then you can predict where he's going to go, and that is so much more important than having requisition. If you know that he has to go and decapture one of those points, you can set up your forces nearby in cover, you can put platforms around, and you can get ready to throw a grenade at them as soon as they show up to decap the point. It's very handy to have that advantage, and we'll see how that plays out a little bit later. In the meantime, just trying to stay in control in the midfield. He's going for the VP down at the southeast, so I'm going to head over there with all my forces now and start cutting into him. Hormigaunt's trying to charge into the Warp Spiders, but they're teleporting away. And because I've got so many troops just chucked around like that, it's easy for me to actually just dodge the Hormigaunts. Having to run away here with the Guardians, but luckily leveling up. Now level 3, so that gives them a lot more hit points to really take to just tank the hits. And it looks like he's sending in a squad of Tyranid Warriors as well. Not too worried about them given the firepower that I've got this stage. And having a look over there, the Tyranids are bringing in some spore mines from behind. Gonna want to avoid those, just teleporting out at the last second before he blows up, so very, very fortunate that I had the quick micro to actually avoid that, otherwise I could have been toast. Really annoying, those spore mines. They have actually reduced the range of the spore mine explosion in the new patch, so there's that. What else is going on here? Yep, opponent down to 170 VPs. got a squad of warp spiders here ready to attack the dudes about to decap my point. Bear in mind that